My dear little ones, come closer and listen carefully, because tonight I am going to tell you a very old and mysterious story. It is the story of a brave boy named Arjun and his loyal dog Sheru. Many years ago, in a small village called Suryagown, there lived a 14-year-old boy named Arjun with his grandmother. Arjun had a faithful brown dog named Sheru. Wherever Arjun went, Sheru followed him. Everyone in the village knew that Sheru was very intelligent. Sometimes he could sense danger before anyone else. Now listen carefully, children, because one evening, while returning home from school with Sheru, Arjun noticed an old man sitting beneath a large banyan tree. The old man looked at Arjun and softly said, "My son, do not go near the old well before sunset." The moment those words were spoken, Sheru began barking loudly. And before Arjun could ask anything, the old man disappeared into the thick fog. That night, little Arjun could not sleep. Even Sheru seemed restless and kept staring toward the forest, as if he knew something was wrong. The next day, Arjun's friend Raju told him, "People say that the voice of a little girl can be heard from that old well at night." But you know, my dear children, Arjun wanted to know the truth. So as evening approached, he quietly took his lantern and headed toward the forest. And of course, faithful Sheru followed right behind him. The wind grew colder, and then suddenly, a weak voice echoed through the darkness. "Brother, please help me." The voice was coming from the old well. Arjun became frightened, but brave Sheru ran toward the well and barked loudly. When Arjun looked inside, he saw a faintly glowing silver pendant hanging deep within the darkness. But just then, children, the old wooden cover of the well began to crack. Arjun lost his balance and slipped him into the well. But before disaster could strike, Sheru grabbed Arjun's shirt with his teeth and pulled him back to safety. Arjun hugged his dear friend tightly. "If you weren't here, Sheru, I would have fallen." Then, using a stick, Arjun touched the glowing pendant, and suddenly, strange memories appeared before his eyes. Long ago, during a terrible storm, a little girl named Mira had been searching for her silver pendant near the well. But sadly, she fell into the well, and no one ever found her. Shocked by what he had seen, Arjun ran back to the village and told everyone, but no one believed him. Only his grandmother became silent. Tears filled her eyes as she whispered, "Mira was my younger sister." The next morning, the villagers cleaned the old well. Deep inside, they found ancient remains and the same silver pendant. Everyone was shocked. After prayers were offered, peace finally returned to the village. That night, Arjun and Sheru sat beneath the banyan tree. And suddenly, the mysterious old man appeared once again. Smiling gently, he said, "Thank you, my son, and thank you, Sheru. You have brought peace to my daughter." Arjun looked at him in surprise and asked, "Who are you?" The old man smiled and replied, I am Mira's father." And slowly he vanished into the mist. Sheru wagged his tail and barked softly toward the sky. The next morning, Arjun told his grandmother everything. But hearing this, she turned pale. With a trembling voice, she said, "But my child, Mira's father died 60 years ago." Arjun stood frozen in fear. Near the banyan tree lay an old walking stick, and beside it was a fresh garland of flowers. Sheru looked toward the sky and barked once, almost as if he was saying goodbye to an old friend. And from that day onward, my dear children, no strange voices were ever heard from the old well again. For at last Mira's soul had found peace. And that, my little ones, is the story of brave Arjun and his loyal friend Sheru. Now close your eyes and go to sleep. Good night, my dear children. The end.